back to my channel. So today I'll be showing you guys how to make this box pleated turtleneck dress. For that you might need about 3 yards of fabric or 2.5, but I'm using 2.5 here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to cut the fabric, get the bottom length that I want to use. So basically what you're going to do is to measure yourself from your shoulder to the wherever you want the dress to be, maybe below your knee, and then you subtract your shoulder to waist from the total length of the dress. So that's just get the main part you want to use, the length you want to use for the bottom, and then you add 1.5 to it. So I'm going to cut out what I'm going to use for the bottom of my dress now. So guys, this is what I'll be using for the bottom of my dress. So this is it here. So the total length I have here plus the extra 1.5 inch of seam allowance for the length is about, so in total I have 26 here. So I'll set this aside and start cutting the top of the dress. So guys, the first thing you do is to take the top, the other part that you cut out of the dress. So this is the other half of it. That's the upper part that I removed now. So I'm going to just fold it into two this way, and then check what you want to be like your bust measurement, the widest part of your upper body. So for me, I'm working with 41, and then you divide it by 4. So 41 divided by 4, that's going to be 10.25. So 10.25, you add extra 1 inch to it, so that's going to be 11.25. So I'm going to fold it again to make sure 11.25 can fit into the width. So it fits in here. The next thing you're going to do is to check the shoulder to waist. So the shoulder to waist I'm working with is about 17 inches. So I'm going to make it, add extra 1 inch to it. That's 18 inches now. So this is for the 1 inch that you're adding is for your seam allowance. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go back. This line is going to be my shoulder line. So go back on the shoulder. My shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2. That's going to be 8 inches. Armhole, my armhole is 20 divided by 2. That's going to be 10. So I'm going to mark it this way and come down here, right? Mark it this way. And then the next thing you're going to do is go back on top of this place, mark your 1 inch for your shoulder slant, and then you mark. Okay, so now for the neckline, what you're going to do is, if you're more on the larger side, maybe extra large, then you might want to use about 3.5 for your neckline. So I'm going to use, if you're more on the small side, then you use about, you make it 3 inches here, 3 inches by length and 3 inches by width if you're more on the smaller side. So I'm going to be using about 3.25 here, or 3.5, because I don't like the neck to be too tight on me, so I would like it to be free. So maybe I'll just use 3.5 instead. So 3.5 by this width, and then also 3.5 by length. So I'm going to come down about 2.5 also, and then mark it this way. Give it a curve. The waist of the this dress is 35. The waist I'm working with is 35 inches. So divided by 4 is going to be 8.75. So I'm going to add extra 2 inches here. So that's going to be 10.75. So I'm going to mark that here and then connect it together here. So basically what you're going to do is just the way you mark, you mark for a normal body. So guys, after that, you connect the waist to you connect the bust to the waist. So basically what you're going to do is bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1, waist measurement divided by 4 plus 2, because you're going to be adding a dart to the waist, but the dart doesn't reach the bust, so you only add 2 inches at the waist. So guys, also remember that the 1 inch you came down, the 1 inch for the shoulder slant, you connect it to the neckline. So now I'm just going to cut out everything. So you start here, you cut out your neckline, and then you go up to the shoulder slant this way, and now you cut out your sleeve, the armhole, sorry. So you cut this out also. So that's basically it. I'm going to use this front panel to trace out the back panel. After that, the next thing you're going to do is to fold the fabric into two again, this way, and then this time around make it wider. Then you place your front bodies on it, and then you have like extra maybe 1.5 inch for your zip allowance here, and then you trace it out again. So what you're going to do is basically you're going to trace out everything on this here, except for you're going to trace out even the neck, the shoulder, trace out everything here, and the side also. But then when you come to the neckline here, when you come to this neckline here, what you're going to do is, so this is supposed to be the length here, normal one here. So what you're going to do is to come down by 1 inch instead here, right? So you come down by 1 inch here, and then you connect it this way. So this is 1 inch here, so you come down this way and connect it this way. So this is going to be your back bodice. So what you're going to do is just cut it out this way. So you hold it this way and then you cut it out. If I remove it, you'll see the mark that I already made. Oh, this side is not visible. So basically you cut it out here, and then you cut out here. So I'm going to cut mine out. So guys, after doing that, the next thing I did is to slit open the back, the fold here. So open it up for the zip. So the next thing you're going to do now is that, because when you go to the sewing machine, you're also going to put a dart here. So what you're going to do is to open up the fabric, right? This is the wrong side here. So I'll fold it into two. What you're going to do, how you're going to put the dart is just the bust point, right? So the bust point on this is about 8 inches, right? From one breast point to one breast point, you divide it into two. So I have 8 inches. So the 8 inches, that's going to be, if you divide it into two, it's going to be 4. So you add extra half an inch to it. So that's about 4.5. So I'm going to mark it here. The next thing you're going to do is to go from the shoulder, come down by about 11.5 here. So this is 11.5 here. So at this point, you also mark your 4.5 all the way to reach here. The next thing you're going to do is to come down here, mark half an inch on each side. So half an inch on this side, half an inch on this side. So you make like an angle going down here, and then another angle going down here. So basically, when you go to sew, the same thing is what you do on each side, right? So what you're going to fold it the other side and also do the same thing. So what you're going to do is to just hold this way, pinch out this, make this center line the part that is going to come up here, and then you pinch it this way, right? You pinch it this way, and then you fold it this way all the way, and then you make a stitch all the way to this 11.5 inches here. So you just go up all the way. That's how you're going to put the dart. Do the same thing on the other side. And then on the back, you're also going to give it a dart, but your dart at the back will go up to from the shoulder down to up to about 7.5 inches. So the dart will come from the bottom and go up to about so coming up from this top part about 7.5. So your dart is going to go up all the way down here. So that's basically it for darting these two. So the next thing I'm going to cut is the sleeve. So my sleeve is going to be about, so guys, what I did here is to fold the fabric into two. I have 2 pieces of this here. So if you open it up, it's into 2 here. So what I did is to fold it into 2 here. I have 2 pieces, one for the sleeve, one for the second sleeve. So the width of each one is supposed to be 10 inches folded for me, because my armhole is 20 divided by 2, that's going to be 10, right? So the width here is 10. If I open it up now, the width is going to be 20. But when you're cutting the sleeve, it's supposed to be folded. So I have 2 of these here, right? I have 2 of these here, 1 and 2. Both are folded. So the next thing you're going to do is to cut my cap length, to mark my cap length. That's about 4 inches. Mark it here, and then I'm going to mark like an S shape for my sleeve. I already have a video on how to cut your sleeve. So this is what it looks like right now. The next thing you're going to do is to mark the sleeve want this to be free, so the end of this is about 14 inches. So divided by 2, that's 7, then plus extra 1 in, that's 8. So I'm going to mark 8 here. So just check what you want the end of your sleeve to be, and then you add extra 1 inch to it, divide it by 2 and add extra 1 inch to it. So that's what I did here, and then you connect it to this part here. And then my length, the length I'm working with is 14 inches is what I'm working with. The total length is 14 inches. That's what I want the sleeve to be. Then I added extra 1.5, half an inch for attaching the top part, and then 1 inch for folding the rough end. So in total I have about 15.5. So whatever you decide to use as your sleeve, you add extra 1.5 inches to it. So I'm going to cut mine out now. What it looks like, I've gone ahead, put in the dart, join the shoulder, attach the sleeve. So the next thing I'm going to do now is, you see the way it is right now, I'm going to put in my box pleat. So how I do it is, I just get the 2 ends of the fabric, right? The way it's going to be this way. So you see, this is transition fabric. So the way I planned is for this colorful part to be at the top and the colorful part to be at the bottom, and then the mid section has just this plain pattern. So what I'm going to do is just to fold it, make sure the 2 ends reach are together, and then I fold it this way so that I can be able to notch. So now I know this is my center, I'll notch it. So this is the back, this 2 is going at the back, this is where I'm going to put in the zip. So the next thing I'm going to find is, if I fold it into 2, I'll find out where will be the side. So these 2 parts will be my side, you see. So now I have 1 notch at the front, center front, 2 notches for the 2 sides, and then I know that these 2 opens are going to the back. So what I'm going to do now is to find the center. So this is going to be the center for my, so this is the notch I made at the center. It's going to be for the center part of this top, and this line is where my center is at this top. So what I do is, normally you can just go ahead and start pleating. So I pleat as I sew because I'm already used to doing it, but you can also check up my video on how to do it. So what you're going to do is, you fold 1. If you want, you can start from one end. Let me just show you from one particular end. So from here you can go this way, right? You pleat it 1, and then you make sure the next one is facing the same pleat that you just made, right? So you see, this one is done. The next one, you pleat the other way. You see, you pleat the other way, and then you make sure the next pleat you make is facing the one you just made. You see, you make sure the next pleat you make is facing the one you just made. As you're doing it, you pin it down. So just like that, you make another pleat facing you, and then you make sure the next one you make is facing the same pleat that you just made. Just like that, you keep on doing it till you get to the end. So I'm going to, after you're done, you just put it and then open up this one, go from the end, and then attach the pleat to the body of the dress. So I'm going to do mine and then come back and show you guys how to finish up the neckline. So guys, the reason why I notched it is because, so this end here now, what I'm going, this end, I know that this end is for the other back of the dress, right? So this end is for the other side of the zip. So I just keep on pleating, and then when I get to this notch, this is the seam at the side. So this is the side seam. This is my center back that's then I know that once I get to this point in the fabric, I know that this is the side. So the notch is basically so that you can spread out the fabric equally and you don't confuse yourself, so that one side will not be bulkier than the other. So once I get to the first notch on the side, I know this is for one side, and then I get to the center notch, I know it's for the center. I then, just so that you can spread out the fabric evenly. So I'm going to attach mine and come back. So guys, this is what it looks like at the moment. I've gone ahead and put in the bottom, but I'll still go back and iron it. But this is what the plate is looking like at the moment. You see, this is what it looks like. So now let's go back to the top part and finish up the neckline. So what you're going to do for the neckline is just cut a long strap of fabric, right? Like long piece of fabric, and then the length of the, sorry, not the length, the width should be about 4 inches, right? 4 inches. And then you cut just as long as you think will be enough for you. So what you're going to do is to fold it into two. So this is 4 inches by width. You fold it into two this way. So the reason why I said just cut enough is because you have to go through the whole neckline. So what you're going to do is, after folding it into two this way, you can go ahead and iron it if you think it will fall apart as you're sewing it. So just fold it into two and then start from the one end here, right? Start from one. So this is the neckline here. Sorry, I just want you to see. So this is the neckline here. You start from one side of the back neckline, because I didn't join it, it's still open at the back. So you start from one side of the zip, you go ahead and just keep sewing. So you place it right side facing each other, fold it into two, place it on this here. This is the right side of the fabric. You just place it on it here and just sew it all the way around, right? You go ahead and sew it all the way around to the back, to the other side of the neckline. So guys, I've attached mine. You can see the seam inside. You can see the seam here. But if you want, you can fold it. You see the seam inside, you can fold it this way and top stitch it all the way. That's what I also do, and then I'll still put a zip at the back here. But I just wanted to show you guys. So this is what it looks like. So this is what it looks like at the moment here. So this is the bottom of the dress, this is the top part here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye.